This is Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa. The story of resurgent and burgeoning Africa is here, only on the Pulse of Africa channel. Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Hello, I'm Tansei Gabea with the news. The World Bank has approved a $925 million loan to support South Africa's efforts to revive its major cities, with the funding forming part of a broader 6-year Metro Services trading program valued at 3 times that amount. The initiative targets 8 key cities, Johannesburg, Cape Town, Durban, Pretoria, and others, to over a third of the population and generate 85% of the nation's economic output. The program links funding to operational and financial performance, aiming to improve water and electric supply, waste collection, and climate resilience while promoting private sector partnerships. Satu Kokonen, World Bank Division Director for South Africa, said the program incentivizes real performance improvements, accountability, and institutional reform. The initiative also responds to growing citizen pressure over service delivery failures, which contributed to the ruling African National Congress losing its outright majority in the last year's election. The loan underscores South Africa's deepening engagement with the World Bank following 3 sovereign loans totaling around $3 billion since 2022 and marks the country's first program for results operations with the lender. The government of Côte d'Ivoire has set the target to reduce greenhouse gas emissions by 33.07% by 2035 under its updated nationally determined contributions. Officials said the plan focuses on strengthening national resilience and promoting low-carbon inclusive development. Key government-led actions target agriculture, forestry, fisheries, water resources, and health, while cross-cutting initiatives include green jobs, gender equality, circular and blue economy, and resilient infrastructure. The government has outlined a detailed investment plan estimated at $59 billion to mobilize domestic and international financing. Authorities emphasize strong policy frameworks, transparency, and public engagement to ensure the effective implementation of the plan and achieve its emissions reduction goals. The Somalia Humanitarian Forum opens today in Johor amid growing concerns over declining foreign aid assistance. This year, Somalia appealed for $1.42 billion to address its humanitarian needs, but also so far received only $272.8 million, representing just 19% of the total requested. The shortfall is largely linked to the United States' decision to cut back on global aid contributions, which has severely affected life-saving programs assisting those impacted by drought, floods, and conflict. The forum in Johor brings together both national and international representatives, including SODMA Director General Mohammed Mualim Abdul, Hir Shabil, President Ali Goodlawe, Federal Ministry of Agriculture officials, as well as delegates from the World Bank, United Kingdom, United States, European Union, Turkey, and civil societies organizations. Discussions will focus on strengthening Somali-led coordination of humanitarian assistance and enhancing local community participation and relief efforts. Despite the funding decline, Somalia has this year contributed $9 million of its own resources to humanitarian response, making it the 9th largest donor to Somalia's aid operations, surpassing countries such as the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia, and Norway. This Johor meeting marks the 9th forum organized by SODMA and will review strategies for linking humanitarian coordination with early warning systems and resilience planning at both federal and state levels.
This is Africa, the cradle of humanity, the frontier of the future, a land of visionaries, creators, and pioneers, a continent of unstoppable energy where innovation meets tradition, where voices rise, loud and fearless.
I am an African.
This is the heartbeat of a billion people, diverse, bold, united by a single purpose to tell our own stories in our own way. No borders, no barriers, no filters. A new era of African storytelling is here. From every corner of the continent, from the bustling cities to the quiet villages, we tell Africa's story by Africans for the world. This is the land of a rising Africa, where Africa speaks and the world listens. This is why today we bring you POA, Pulse of Africa, the face and voice of Africa.
Algeria and Oman have strengthened their partnership in agriculture, fisheries, and food security following high-level talks held during the International Fisheries and Aquaculture Exhibition, which took place in Oran from November 6 to 9. Omani Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Water Resources, Saud bin Ahmoud Al-Habisi, and Algerian Minister of Agriculture, Rural Development and Fisheries, Yassine El Mahdi Oulaid, discussed collaboration in desert agriculture, digital transformation, and value-added industries. Both sides emphasized the importance of research, innovation, and investment to achieve sustainable food security. The ministers also agreed to enhance training, technical cooperation, and exchange of expertise to promote mutual growth and sustainable development. Held under the theme Innovation and Knowledge, the exhibition brought together representatives from more than 25 countries and 35 emerging institutions, serving as a platform for knowledge sharing and showcasing new technologies in marine, fishing, and aquaculture. Zimbabwe is making steady progress toward universal energy access, with more than 35,000 households connected to the national grid since the start of the year and 94% of clinics now electrified. Energy and Power Development Minister July Moyo said 69% of primary schools and 82% of secondary schools have electricity, with full electrification targeted by 2026. PowerTel is also expanding internet services to all connected schools to enhance digital learning. The initiative, part of President Mnangagwa's Vision 2030, aims to ensure affordable, modern, and sustainable energy for all. Zimbabwe has increased power generation capacity by 8.25%, built 750 kilometers of new distribution lines, and launched more than 340 electrification projects this year. The government's efforts underline its commitment to energy self-sufficiency, industrialization, and equal learning opportunities across urban and rural areas. Africa's music, film, fashion, and art are shaping global culture, yet the continent's creative industries remain underfunded and poorly structured. Farid Fezwa of the IFC World Bank Group highlights that while African talent is world-class, the real challenge lies in capital, policy, and infrastructure. Despite achievements in like Nollywood producing 2,500 films annually and African artists headlining major global venues, these sectors struggle to scale due to fragmented ecosystems and limited financial support. Investing in creative industries could unlock massive economic and social benefits, generating jobs, supporting youth and women, and boosting related sectors such as tourism and technology. IFC emphasizes that long-term growth requires deliberate ecosystem building, combining capital with policy engagement, technical support, and market infrastructure. Africa's culture is not just an export, it is a strategic investment for the continent's future. Now to business news. A high-level IMF delegation led by Axel Shimelpifeng met with Nigeria's Minister of Budget and Economic Planning, Senator Abubakar Bagudu, in Abuja to discuss the country's ongoing economic reforms and preparations for the 2026-2030 National Development Plan. The talks reviewed Nigeria's fiscal priorities, macroeconomic framework, and reform trajectory. Shimelpifeng commended Nigeria's policy consistency and commitment to reform, noting its growing institutional strength. Bagudu reaffirmed the government's goal for achieving $1 trillion economy by 2030 through disciplined, transparent, and inclusive reforms. He also highlighted the renewed Hope Ward-based development plan aimed at driving grassroots economy growth across the country's 8,809 wards. The International Trade Center and the African Export-Import Bank have unveiled a free continent-wide training program to help African businesses harness the opportunities of the African Continental Free Trade Area. The online course, running until December 31st, 2025, equips entrepreneurs, SMEs, and exporters with hands-on skills to expand into new markets, understand AfCFTA's trade rules, manage logistics, and meet continental standards. With Africa's single market of 1.3 billion people and a GDP exceeding $3.4 trillion, the initiative aims to boost competitiveness, stimulate value chains, and reduce reliance on imports. By addressing barriers such as limited market data and high logistic costs, ITC and Afreximbank hope to enable African firms to trade more efficiently, create jobs, and strengthen regional integration through AfCFTA. Next, let's take a look at the latest weather forecast. Before we wrap up, we invite you to watch POA In Depth, which follows this news package. Thank you for tuning in. Stay with us for more news and updates. Goodbye.